I was creating my first self-help video. I had it all written out and I was stoked about it. But then everything hit the fan. I was trying to center myself. Try center your being in these trying times. It's pretty difficult. And with emotions running so high on both sides of this catastrophe, it was kind of hard for me to do so. I let emotions probably get the best of me on social media, which is, I guess, a good outlet for that. But before I get into everything that happened with Trump and his minions of followers, let's get into something here. Let's talk about sheep. I'm an activist, so of course I've been called a sheep plenty of times by a lot of people who disagree with my views. So the difference between being a sheep and not being one is people who are not sheep don't need orders. I don't need anybody to tell me who to stand up for. I automatically do it. When someone says Black Lives Matter to me, I don't take offense. I understand that, yes, absolutely, their lives matter to me and should matter to everyone too. So they get up on their own and they help others. They help others. It has zero to do with one's self-interest or a singular messiah's interests. Sheep are cowards because they can't think for themselves. And yeah, I know it's a negative term. I'm calling people names here because I'm in an emotional state. And it's the fact that they went in there and defiled that place. It stands for so much more than a lot of people realize. We know the system's corrupt, but and I'm stepping ahead because of this emotional state, and I'm not keeping concentrated on what I should be. And you know what? I'm just going to leave all of this in. I'm trying to be authentic. Sheep are cowards following orders of a guy who turned his back on every single one of them. Every single one. His so-called patriots that he gave the order to stand up and fight. And they did. They obeyed. They've obeyed him since 2016. Since he stepped into the presidential election in 2015 or whenever he did. I'm not even going to look it up because I don't care. They obeyed, they parrot everything, every bit of garbage that comes out of these people, they parrot. That's a sheep. A sheep is not thinking for yourself. Okay? They can't even... The sad thing is they don't even have the courage, and this is why I call them cowards. They don't even have the courage to stand up to what they have done. They have to blame someone else. The left did it. It wasn't us. It was Antifa. That's a sheep. And we wonder why we're in this situation. How many millions of people, really, seriously, how many millions of people does that tell you cannot think for themselves? They tell you, well, Black Lives Matter. What? That's racist. All lives matter. Well, no, all lives matter, absolutely. But when someone is telling you that their life matters too, and you discount that by showing them a black and white and a blue streak going across that flag and saying, please lives matter, you're the racist. You're stepping on their belief. And you're parroting another person's belief. You're parroting a racist belief. And it's sick. I don't know how anyone can try to stay centered in this event. There needs to be answers. People need to be held accountable. Especially the person who instigated all of this. Make no mistake, what happened was planned. You had Capitol Police letting people in. 5 people are dead. 5 people because of what? sheep. That's all it is, sheep. I hope they're proud of themselves. I really do. They seemed very proud when they were marching around in the Capitol. Why aren't they proud now? What happened? I'm going to read a tweet from a longtime person I've known. I'll call him a friend. Expatriate on Twitter is at Hexpatriot. What's messed up is that even while in Occupy Wall Street, this would have never even occurred to us, to any of us. Even in my fantasies of violently overthrowing the government, it never involved going inside. I respect the building too much. Congress is shit, but the building isn't. It's our heart. Smashing a window I wouldn't have even considered. They could have kept me out with a hemp rope. And that's the thing, guys. How do anarchists have more of a moralistic compass than these sheep? The right doesn't understand why some people burn the flag. They think that all of our people died for that flag. How you're just desecrating the flag. But what they don't understand is that flag probably means a lot more to the person burning it than it does to them. Why? Let me tell you why. And I even wrote about this a little bit. Because the people burning it understand how the social contract has been broken and want it fixed. So they burn the symbol of what is broken. Because we understand that it wasn't meant to be waved around for nationalism. It's meant to be an icon for freedom and goodwill. And it gets burned when it loses its meaning. You want people to stop burning the flag? You give them freedom and goodwill and stop acting like a bunch of idiots. You know, and then pointing the finger at the left saying that we are the ones responsible for the chaos that ensued after Trump, Giuliani, and Trump Jr. told them that they were going to march with them to the Capitol. Imagine that. We're going to come with you, folks. But they didn't. What did they do? They hid in a little room and watched. They watched on TV. They watched the fruit of their words come to fruition. And there's even video of Trump Jr. laughing about it. Ha ha ha. So funny. 5 people are dead. And and none of these people are in jail? And you question why people burn the flag. You get upset when people make up their own minds about things that don't reflect your opinion because you're all climbing over the Capitol building when anarchists are like, whoa, this isn't right. I'm an anarchist. That building's sacred for a lot of reasons. You know, I've made these videos about unity and how to move forward and everything else, but it's really hard to kind of comprehend how to move forward when you have a bunch of people who are brainwashed into believing that whatever this guy says, whatever Trump says is gospel. You can't move forward in a society that is toxic to the other half of the society, can you? Where there's so many people that are disenfranchised with the system that extends to both sides, but yet one side keeps constantly, making fun of the other. Snowflakes, you name it. And they expect no retaliation. They expect people just to sit back and not do anything about it. I think that there's a portion of humanity that has evolved past the need for this stuff. And I think it's time that, unfortunately, with this consciousness split where one side's completely off base and insane and not even in this current reality anymore, it's all conspiracy theory and hype. I think we're going to have to just move past that and move past them. It's going to take a while. You know, that kind of rhetoric doesn't end easily. But with each new generation, it's less and less. That's really all I have to say right now. I'm just disgusted by the fact that there's a lot of people out there who can't take the responsibility for what they've done, and they have to point the finger at other people because they're cowards.